A new court order is now allowing the city of Grants Pass to begin enforcing overnight camping bans in several public parks.
Plus, with fire season about here, we'll show you how one group is making sure your home is fire ready.
Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6 o'clock on May 30th. Welcome to NewsWatch 12 this morning. I'm Carlos Murrieta.
And I'm Brinkley Hill, and we're going to check in with Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman this morning for a look at our Friday.
Good morning. Lots of sunshine on the way for today, but some hotter afternoon high temperatures. Well above average and much warmer than anything we've seen this week. It's going to be breezy today along the coast. Late day breezes inland will be picking up later on in the afternoon into the early evening hours. Up to 98 degrees today in Medford, 70 in Brookings. We'll make it up to 92 in Klamath Falls. Likely our first day hitting 90 degrees in the basin. Up to 96 in Grants Pass and Wairika. Take a look at the drought monitor. Last week, we were still drought-free, and we are still drought-free technically, but abnormally dry conditions have snuck in now to portions of Jackson and Klamath County. We could use some rain, but it doesn't look like there's any in the extended forecast. Things really trending pretty quiet for us as we go through the weekend and through much of next week as we head into June. I'll have a closer look, though, at your weekend and how long today's heat is expected to stick around coming up in the extended forecast.
In our top story this morning, a new court order allows the city of Grants Pass to begin enforcing overnight camping bans.
A judge has modified an earlier court order allowing the city to resume enforcement of overnight camping bans at 7 city parks. Until now, the city had been blocked from removing campsites without offering 150 overnight spaces for public camping.
City leaders say they've made several improvements since March, like increasing available space and upgrading existing sites. But in a joint motion filed last week, both the city and Disability Rights Oregon asked the court to allow enforcements to resume, calling it a step towards a possible settlement.
And second, it's a recognition that the city has been moving towards providing more safe legal places for people to sleep.
Representative Dwayne Yunker called House Bill 3115 a failure that limits local control. He's pushing to repeal the law, saying protecting just 7 parks isn't enough to address community safety concerns. We also reached out to Grants Pass Police to ask when enforcement will begin. They haven't responded.
In an update this morning, 22-year-old is now in jail on arson charges in connection to the Blue Fire in Siskiyou County. CAL FIRE law enforcement say Antonio Santizo was taken into custody after the cause of the 1.5-acre fire was determined to be an unsafe campfire. He now faces 1 felony charge and 2 misdemeanor charges. His bail is set at $25,000.
And continuing our coverage of the Juniper Fire in Siskiyou County, there is still only 1 evacuation warning in place for that 49-acre fire. That zone is 5120A. Firefighters are continuing to fully contain the fire, which is currently 45% contained as of this morning. CAL FIRE asks you to avoid the area due to fire resources. And with fire season officially starting this Tuesday, people are getting their homes fire ready.
NewsWatch 12's Rocky Walker tagging along for a home fire risk assessment showing you how to keep your home safe.
It can happen to me and it can happen to you, so anything we can do to be fire safe, you should do it.
Doug Naverson getting his home assessed for fire risk. A free process done by Jacksonville FireWise to keep the community safe. A need Naverson knew was essential in the wake of the Alameda fire.
I was sitting on the balcony and watching the fire being swept north. You can hear the barbecue propane tanks exploding ominously off in the distance. And I stayed up till midnight that night watching the fire.
So he called Jeff and Linda, bringing their lists and knowledge to keep his home safe.
Create a little separation by pruning it and keeping it off of the sides.
Making sure to keep a defensible space, metal grates over openings, and even certain doormats. They say it's the little things that add up.
If you look at some of the major fires, where the reason that a person's house was standing and 200 other homes were gone and burnt is because they even removed things like the porch furniture.
A phrase they have, follow the leaves. It'll show you where embers will go, and that is really what you're staying safe from.
90% of fires are caused by embers, so if you can protect your home from embers, it's most likely not going to burn.
Those like Naverson have done the work, diving headfirst into keeping his home and community safe.
Couldn't have made a scarier movie than what we had right here in Southern Oregon, so that's etched in my memory banks forever. So I don't want that happening to my house or to Jacksonville, Oregon, the town I love.
In Jacksonville, I'm Rocky Walker.
New this morning, the Oregon Senate has passed a legislation that would ban rapid-fire devices and allow local governments to decide whether to allow guns inside official meeting locations. In a 17-12 vote, Senate Democrats approved Senate Bill 243 over Republicans. It's also known as the Community Safety Firearms Act. Senate Democrats say this is a step towards lowering violent crime and easing fears of mass shootings, while Republicans say the bill does nothing to keep guns away from criminals. The bill now heads the Oregon House of Representatives.
Also new this morning, a bill is aiming to speed up and improve the compensation process for those wrongfully convicted, as it is gaining support from the Oregon legislature. Right now, Oregonians can petition the state for tens of thousands of dollars in compensation for those who have been wrongfully imprisoned. But Senate Bill 1007 would make it easier and faster to obtain compensation and findings of innocence from the state. 40 states currently have laws on ensuring a pathway for wrongfully convicted individuals to receive that compensation.
Onto a crime alert. A Coos Bay gym owner is being accused of sexually abusing teen girls, and it turns out that he has a history of similar crimes. 44-year-old Henry Delaney III is the founder of the Northwest Fitness Gym in Coos Bay. He offers local students to use his gym for school credits, according to court documents. An affidavit shows several teenage girls reported him for inappropriate behavior and sexual abuse. Delaney was arrested earlier this month, and his case is still pending. He's a registered sex offender and was convicted for a similar crime against a student in Seattle in 2009. He also has allegations from a Medford student. The Coos Bay superintendent, Dr. Justin Ainsworth, said there was never a formal partnership with Delaney's gym.
Today, Medford police will be out focusing on pedestrian safety at a busy downtown intersection. It's all part in an effort to prevent crashes and raise awareness. Officers will be stationed at 8th and Bartlett from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. watching for drivers who don't stop for pedestrians. Whether the crosswalk is marked or not, the operation uses a decoy pedestrian, and violations carry a $265 fine.
When in doubt, stop for somebody who you think may be entering a crosswalk. You're required to if somebody is entering into a crosswalk, especially a marked one. Also, it's really important for people to know that even if it's not marked, every intersection is a crosswalk.
Medford police say downtown's high foot traffic makes enforcement critical, and that these operations happen several times a year to help keep roads safe for everyone.
The Corvalis Food Project, led by an Oregon State student, just announced it has collected 10,000 pounds of foods to local pantries and the College Food Bank. Project members collect donations from area homes on specific days each term. It was launched 2 years ago, and the nonprofit's creator was inspired by the Medford Food Project, where they volunteered in high school. Their mission is to fight food poverty within their community.
I grew up experiencing food insecurity firsthand, and so I once benefited from meal assistance, and I was determined to pay that forward as soon as I was able. And so I came to Corvalis, adapted a model similar to the Medford Food Project, which is where I volunteered in high school. And my friends and I just invested all of our time into this.
The Corvalis Food Project operates as an OSU club, but if you're interested in volunteering or donating to their cause, you can find that information on their social media.
Looking ahead, the city of Chiliguin is looking for vendors for its 4th annual Chi Town Family Festival. The festival will take place on June 27th and 28th. The festival includes farmers, local nonprofits, and businesses. The event is free and open to the public, and for details on how to sign up as a vendor, you can head on over to our website, kdrv.com. The deadline to apply is Friday, June 13th.
After 14 years, a local principal is retiring, but he couldn't leave without one last fond memory. He actually put his students up to a challenge to raise $25,000 with a jogathon. Now, these PJs might seem informal. This was Mr. Lewis greeting his students yesterday morning, but this is the very end of a very long night for Mr. Lewis. He has a history of bets with students in his 14 years at Parkside. He's dressed up as Elsa, and another memorable moment was actually getting turned into a human sundae. But this year, it's going to be a little different.
I had to raise $25,000, and if they made that ultimate goal, then I agreed that I would sleep on the top of the roof. So that's how we got here.
This year, Mr. Lewis is retiring, leaving 14 years of students with fun memories and truly an impact that will last a lifetime.